Hey Athey kids and parents! This weekend in Athey Kids we are learning that we must worship God His way. Korah led a massive rebellion against Moses and Aaron because he wanted to be priest. But God defended Moses and Aaron, demonstrating His choice of Aaron by judging the rebels, accepting Aaron's prayers on behalf of the people, and sending a divine sign vindicating Aaron as his choice for priest. Korah, Dathan, and Abiram and On from the tribe of Reuben turned against Moses. These 4 men gathered 250 other Israelite men and they challenged Moses. They were well-known leaders chosen by the community. They came as a group to speak to Moses and Aaron. The men said, "You have gone too far. All the people are holy, every one of them is holy, and the Lord is with them. So why do you put yourselves above all the people?" Then Moses rose and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spoke to the congregation, saying, "Depart, please, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest you be swept away with all of their sins." And Moses said, "Hereby you shall know that the Lord has sent me to do all of these works, and that it has not been of my own accord. If these men die in a normal way, as all men die, then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord creates something new, and the ground opens its mouth and swallows them up with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into Sheol, then you shall know that these men have despised the Lord." And as soon as he had finished speaking all these words, the ground under them split apart, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with all their households and their belongings, so that they and all that belonged to them went down alive into Sheol, and the earth closed over them, and they perished from the midst of the assembly. And fire came out from the Lord and consumed the 250 men offering the incense. But on the next day of all the congregation of the people of Israel, they grumbled once again against Moses and against Aaron, saying, "You have killed the people of the Lord." And Moses and Aaron came to the front of the tent of meeting, and the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Get away from the midst of this congregation, so that I may consume them in a moment." And they fell on their faces. And Moses said to Aaron, "Take your censer and put fire on it from the altar, and lay incense on it and carry it quickly to the congregation, and make atonement for them, for wrath has gone out from the Lord. The plague has begun." So Aaron took it as Moses said and ran into the midst of the assembly. And behold, the plague had already begun among the people. And he put on the incense and made atonement for the sins of the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stopped. And then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the people of Israel, and get them from their staffs, each one of their father's household, 12 staffs, and write each man's name on his staff, and write Aaron's name on the staff of Levi. For there shall be one staff for the head of each father's house, and the staff of the man whom I choose shall sprout. Thus I will make it cease from me the grumblings of the people of Israel, for which they grumble against you." On the next day Moses went into the tent of testimony, and behold, the staff of Aaron for the house of Levi had sprouted and put forth buds and produced blossoms, and it bore ripe almonds. And then Moses brought out all of the staffs from before the Lord from the people of Israel, and they looked, and each man took his staff. And the Lord said to Moses, "Put back the staff of Aaron before the testimony, to be kept as a sign for these rebels, that you may make an end of their grumblings against me, lest they die." Through all this, God demonstrated that He is serious about worship. Man can only approach God in the way that He has prescribed, which is through faith in His Son, Jesus Christ. The teaching points will vary slightly from classroom to classroom, but the main points will be: disobedience led to rebellion. The people rebelled, but Moses and Aaron interceded, in God's way and His choice. This weekend, we want to drive home that we have a high priest today, Jesus. In Numbers 16:1 through 17:11, God defended Aaron's authority to serve as high priest. Today, the only high priest is Jesus, who continues as high priest forever. He was appointed by God and functions as the perfect high priest who offered himself as a sacrifice for sin once and for all. Jesus is the only mediator between God and man, and He alone is able to save all of those who draw near to God through him. We hope to see you guys this weekend. Bye!